I'm going to refer several times through this presentation to an engagement we have just completed for a large multinational organisation that's concerned in many fields. I can't really say even what they do because you'll figure out who they are, but they used to be a government agency and now they're not. What happened was that we did some background research of this nature and were able to compile a pretty thick dossier on staff, relationships between staff, reporting mechanisms, email addresses, direct dial phone numbers, mobile numbers, physical locations. Of course, using our friends at Google, we can even hover around the building without even going there, but also being able to identify what sort of defences they have, who they use for guarding their premises. All that sort of stuff can now be done electronically in advance. And that's step one of any attack, no matter who you are and no matter what your motive. Stage two, which we also conducted successfully in this recent engagement, is called spear phishing. Anybody not familiar with spear phishing? Okay, I could pick on one of you to tell me what it is, but I'll trust your okay, that works. Okay, spear phishing is phishing in general. The term came to mean like trawler fishing. We have a big net and you drive through the ocean catching lots of fish. The original phishing attacks were like that. They would mail out 1 million emails, and if only 0.1% of people fell for whatever that scam was, it would still be a good return on investment because mailing out 1 million emails costs nuttons. And if you got £1,000 back, you were doing well. Spear phishing is used in a targeted fashion, as the spear indicates. So instead of driving a trawler with a big net behind it, suddenly you're a person on your own looking at a river flowing past, seeing fish in it and trying to stab one with a spear. So that's the terminology thought behind it. What this does is target particular individuals in the company that's been chosen, and to attempt to use as much background information and context as possible in order to trick that individual or individuals into believing that you are, for instance, another member of staff legitimately asking for information. Most common technique that spear phishing is deployed in is getting credentials, because if I'm an attacker, the holy grail for me is that I have some real legitimate credential pairs, usernames and passwords. In the end, most businesses have some degree of defense, some better than others, against an uninformed attack where it's an anonymous attack. You don't know the credentials, you're trying to guess a password, you're trying to break systems through some complex technique. Spear phishing can assist in completely sidestepping that and instead give you real credentials which you can use and which, in our experience, 0.0% of businesses can detect. And that's the key thing. Businesses' intrusion detection systems and so on might work sometimes, most of them don't. What they certainly don't work for, except in the most sophisticated organisation, and bless you if you work for one, is being able to detect inappropriate access using legitimate credentials. So spear phishing is all about that. In our recent experiment, in 1.5 hours, we obtained 37 current legitimate usernames and passwords for the target organisation's network. And we did that by crafting an email that was mapped exactly onto an email we'd got from the target business by simply applying for a job or sending an email to a random account and getting a bounce back. You get to see what the email construction looks like. Because they're ex-government, they have sort of protective marking at the top of the email, and of course the usual legal stuff. I nearly used the wrong word then. At the bottom, you know, the thing you have to put in emails because lawyers tell you to, that nobody reads and is pointless, that stuff. And in the middle you can put what you like. And it was fabricated to look exactly like a real corporate email. We bought and registered a domain that was almost exactly but not quite the same as a legitimate one. And we mailed out to staff saying we were from IT using a real name, real email address with the wrong domain. saying we're just rolling out a new Outlook web access portal, a new web server for checking your email on this new domain. Please log on and test it. And 37 people did in an hour and a half before somebody raised the alarm. So we gathered usernames and credentials.